Every man deserves to know his T level. Step in a game day Men's Health Solon and get tested. On us. No guesswork, no waiting, just real answers.
Hey, listen, man. The AFC North, we start OTAs, and the thing I'm so interested in the AFC North is it's almost a resetting point. For so many years, we saw Harbaugh. We saw Tomlin. We knew who those guys were. Like, now that those guys are kind of like out of the division, there's this weird aura. Like, you can think of it as, hey, we might got a shot now. Or like, yeah, it's just status quo. We just gonna get another coach and it's gonna make us feel terrible because now they got a new coach and they're still cooking us. So, and when you look at it from Pittsburgh to Baltimore to Cincinnati to Cleveland, what do you guys really feel like this is still an elite division? Is there a little stepping back because you do have all new coaches besides the Bengals? And what is your thoughts on just the Steelers and some of the other teams?
I don't know you can call it the best division in the AFC anymore. But I have okay, so you look at the AFC East. To me, there's two Super Bowl contenders in the East, the Patriots and the Bills.
Okay.
And then there's quite a big drop, right, from there to the Jets and the Dolphins. In the West, I tend to maybe lean the West is the best. I'm not going to say the South.
No.
But the West, I mean, say what you want about the Chiefs. I'm still taking the Chiefs.
Oh.
The Chargers with Herbert, I know they haven't lived up to expectations. But the Broncos, look how far they went this year. And then obviously there's a drop. And then the Raiders, who have the number one pick, and they feel they have the franchise quarterback. So I don't know that there is a definitive one right now, but I don't think it's the North, no.
I mean, it's a mysterious division now, I think, more so because of the change. And because, like, the Bengals are a team that if they ever get a healthy season out of Joe and a little bit of defense, they can beat anybody. But it hasn't happened for a few years, right? So I divide it into twos. You got the two teams with the MVP caliber quarterbacks and the high ceilings. And then you got two teams at the bottom that are kind of going through some change but maybe resisting full change. And they got mysterious or maybe just flat-out crappy quarterback situations. Mm-hmm. We don't know. But they're hard to play against because both Cleveland and Pittsburgh got really good defenses. So, the Browns are a really hard team to play against. What are they going to do offensively? Are they going to play 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks again? I don't know. Why did Pittsburgh go back to Aaron Rodgers? Well, they think he's their best option. But what is their ceiling?
That's the thing that when we look at Aaron Rodgers, I'm in a different space because it's like, okay, well, at least if you watch, right? At least if you watch the Browns, you say, well, they got an old option in Deshaun Watson, so you can wish upon a star to see if he is. You got a young option where you're like, okay, well, we got a dude who played a little bit last year in Shedeur Sanders. Maybe he might be what we think he is. You drafted a dude in Taylor Green, and you're like, okay, you got Dylan Gabriel. But, they've done some things around those pieces. So you say, okay, let's see what it is. But when I look at the Steelers, it just looks like they're just really at all cost not trying to go back to the rebuild. It's just like, I've never seen the Steelers rebuild. Have you seen the Steelers? I've never seen the Steelers say, you know what, we're rebuilding.
Well, they've had one losing season in 20-some years, and they got Ben Roethlisberger out of it.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
They draft well enough where they don't really have to do it on the fly.
I mean, people can say what they want about Tomlin, and it did go stale there. But, to not have a losing season for 2 decades. Who wouldn't trade it? Unless you're a Kansas City fan, right? Or a Seattle fan at this moment, who wouldn't trade for that?
It's a little bit of a reset, and now you take both of those guys because at least – we would always look at it, well, there's Harbaugh over there, and he's the model of consistency, and then there's Tomlin over there. So it always seemed like you were climbing an uphill battle. But now you look over there, and it's Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy. Now, listen, I mean, Mike McCarthy, God bless you, but this ain't 2004, right. And Charles Woodson over there. This is you with an aging team. What is the upside and what does it look like for the Steelers in a division like this? Because the only thing I'm trying to rationalize my way into getting them up out of here. That's what I want.
Their ceiling's 10 wins and a first-round exit.
Right. But I said this is probably the year they slip and then they pick in front of you.
Yeah.
Right?
You see, you know what? This is why y'all crazy. You know what? You funny. So So you saying if you were the Steelers, say for instance they slip a little bit, if Aaron Rodgers, I ain't wishing no injury on nobody, so Aaron Rodgers, something happened, he's 40, I don't know how.
Yeah.
But if this was the year where the Steelers were to say, you know what, we're gonna play Aaron Rodgers, he got hurt, we're gonna play one of these young guys.
Will Howard.
We're gonna play Will Howard, and hey, listen, Hayward and TJ Watt, we're gonna shut them down a little bit early. They got nagging injuries. That would be the year to say, hey, how's about we just go ahead and
right, and they might do that. I mean, why did they bring in Mike McCarthy? Two reasons. One, he's from Pittsburgh. He's a proven winner. I agree with you, G. They are trying to keep it together, but he's a developer of young quarterbacks. So they have Will Howard kind of in the background in the bullpen. Now they have Drew Aller. Let me put this in a little context for you guys. How crazy this is. Charlie Fry and Aaron Rodgers were drafted in the same year.
oh,
Get out of here.
shut up.
Okay,
No.
so to make it even crazier, Drew Aller from Medina, Ohio, comes to the combine this year, and he's like, I grew up, my parents were season ticket holders. I used to wear a Charlie Fry jersey. Now he's Aaron Rodgers' teammate.
That's crazy. That is that just goes to show you, man. You take a look at the other parts of the division with Baltimore, and listen, it didn't look good. It wasn't Baltimore. Let's be clear. Baltimore was not Baltimore last year. And you look at, Lamar Jackson, and people starting to talk. That clock be ticking. They say, okay, last year, if you look at the AFC, last year was wide open for your Josh Allens, your Lamar Jacksons, Patrick Mahomes was hurt. All y'all had to do is finish your breakfast, and you could.
That's right.
And the Patriots went. So I'm looking at it. What is Lamar Jackson without Harbaugh, and what does this look like for the Ravens?
Well, their ceiling is still high. They didn't get it done last year for multiple reasons. And when they don't, it does fall on Lamar. It did feel like their opportunity. They came into last year, I was picking them to win the Super Bowl. A lot of people were. They didn't even make the playoffs. So, I think the new coordinator change, just the new culture change will be good for him. Does he have enough around him, and is he still Lamar? Does he have to rely more on his arm? Does Derrick Henry still have enough to carry them? We'll see. But you have two teams that have really high ceilings, and then you have two teams in the Browns and the Steelers that it's like, okay, I can make a case they can be pretty good and really hard to play against, and I can make a case that the best thing for them would be to stink and get on with your quarterback future.
So we talk about the Bengals a little bit too, and they are the most Jekyll and Hyde team I've seen. I still don't understand. I look at the last game of the season and I say, okay, well, Joe Burrow is playing, T. Higgins is playing, Jamar Chase is playing. How do you lose at home to the Browns, bro? How do you lose that with nobody out there? And it's almost one of them things. Since Joe Burrow has gone to the Super Bowl, it just seems like one year after another, it's something. Does he have another run in him, and is it the year where they actually put it together a little bit?
I mean, I think it can be. You have to see it happen. Joe has to stay healthy, and defensively they've just been awful. So they've changed coordinators, they've changed personnel. Their best defensive player walked out the door and now plays for Baltimore.
Yeah.
But it was time for a shakeup there. So, look, Chase, Higgins, Burrow, it's scary.
Yeah.
And like I said, so if the quarterback is healthy and the defense gives them a little, that's a team with I don't know if they're a higher ceiling than Baltimore, but they're in the discussion of having the highest ceiling as anybody.
Who would you pick to win the division right now?
I picked Cincinnati.
Me too.
If
you make me pick right now, I would take the Bengals. Because the Ravens are just an unknown. You just don't know.
I don't know what I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know what I know they got Lamar. I know they got Henry. I just don't know.
I think 10 wins the division, right? There's an element of beating each other up. There's an element of newness to almost everybody except Cincinnati. But yeah, if Cincinnati retains a little bit of health and Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase, then they're really good.
NFC East to me is still the best division.
I don't know. The NFC West probably wants a word.
Hold on, let me see.
It's got to be. It's Niners, Rams,
Seahawks. Yeah.
Seahawks.
Let me bring that all the way back. Hold on, I forgot it. Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah, no. Actually, it's a landslide. Actually, that was crazy work. Yeah, Rams, Niners, Seahawks, Super Bowl champs, Seahawks.
Mention them third.
Yeah, mention them right. That's kind of crazy. And then the Cardinals. Yeah. Listen, you're right. But listen, I will say a couple of years ago, ain't it funny how time fly? Because with the Washington Commanders, we used to talk about Jaden Daniels, and he was one of them dudes, and he kind of took a step back last year. Now they're not even mentioning Commanders anymore. So it's funny how those things work. Now I will say this: I'm interested in seeing how the Patriots respond. I'm very interested in seeing if there's any carryover from all of the crazy stuff going on in the offseason, or will they just be like the Patriots? Deflategate, who cares? Tom Brady, who cares? Hernandez, Gronk, who cares? We still get it done.
And it's not just the headline sheet. The year before, they were a fourth-place team. And now all of a sudden they're playing in the Super Bowl. So that's hard. You're playing a totally different schedule. You're getting everybody's best shot.
All right. You lose Diggs a little bit. You know. But that's the encouraging part about it. They'll be like, G. Bush, are you drinking the Kool-Aid on the Browns? I said, listen, I just saw the Patriots do it. I saw the Broncos have been good a couple years in a row. I guess we should believe in Bo Nix. But yeah, like there's always a team that's moving around. There's always.
But those teams always have quarterbacks.
Yeah. So here we go. And by the way, that starts today. OTAs.
Right now. They're going to the practice field right now. The competition is on.
The competition is
and Zach,
on.
you're there tomorrow, correct?
Yeah. Once a week for the next 3 weeks. So the Browns have 3 weeks of OTAs, and we're allowed in once per week. And then June 9th, whatever week, I don't know the exact date, the 3-day mandatory minicamp will be there all 3 days.
And then you're back in Thursday. So on Thursday, we'll get Zach's firsthand, in-person recap of all the beautiful things I'm sure he witnesses on the football field in Berea during an OTA session that I know he's dying to witness in person.
I've seen a few of these.
Hey, look, but here's the thing. It's cool when you have a bunch of young players. The cool thing about it is we talked about it on the WKYC, you might actually have 100% participation on the offensive side of football because you have a bunch of new guys and young guys that are participating, and you might get guys that is going to install and get to it.
You should. Like, if you're a young player on this team or even an older player, like on this offense especially, you should want to be out there. You've got a fresh start. There's a new voice, right?
Yeah.
It's time. It's time to be out there.
Yeah, if you're not one or two people and you don't have an NFL sack record, you might want to just show up, dog. Hey, Jerry Judy, you want to pull up today? They drafted 2 receivers, Jerry.
Outside of Miles, do you anticipate anyone else not being there?
Not for health reasons. Now, I'm a little curious on Grant Delpit, who's entering the last year of his contract, and just saw them draft a guy at his position. But through the years, Grant Delpit's been a perfect attendance guy. Denzel Ward's been a perfect attendance guy every year for like the last 3 years at least. So I would expect everybody to be there, but we'll see. Jenkins still coming back from the injury. Judkins is going to be out there, but not going through full team stuff. I think DeJuan Jones, maybe there's some gray area there. But yes, except for the healthy guys, I would expect everyone except for number 95 to be out there when we get out there tomorrow.
There we go, man. That's very encouraging.